Welcome to Learn, Chat, Share, the podcast where knowledge meets conversation. Hosted by Daniel Wathen.
Fancy.
Look at that.
Think our audio will work?
I better. So, for those that are
Anything's
watching
possible.
this is Ashleigh Walls, known to me as Ashleigh Walls. That she's still let in my phone because her maiden name is Widger, and I love the Widger family. So,
All right.
and this is our second take because I screwed up the first take and somehow didn't record the video part of this. So you probably, if I post this on the interwebs in the appropriate time order, the first one was audio only, and the second one is video. So that's her beautiful face.
I still think that we had such a fun conversation last time.
I loved it too. And so today, I've got many of you may have noticed that I've had a delay on getting this off and running, and that's because I am acting as a caregiver currently for one of my best friends who has stage 4 cancer, and that actually eats up a lot of time for the caregivers. So I think at some point, Ashley, maybe you and I would talk about that. Like,
No,
it's
and that's why too,
far
I
more
just,
intense. It's far more intense. I'm like literally going to build not a bit, I don't know, a business, but a model around this because I think people need some good
I mean, support, right? It's
constructs around how to like handle these types of affairs. But
an aunt of mine actually has made a little bit of a business out of caretaking in the in a community in Florida.
yeah,
And she, she'll help. She's the most loving, kind, you know, people first person. And there's really a business for somebody to like care about someone that you love and maybe
yeah,
doesn't have family close by. In your instance, you really are the angel in the situation
yeah,
because you're wearing a lot of hats. So that is
yes,
actually
the
how I started, which was, I think, before the camera was rolling, which is, what are you doing for you? Because it's heavy. You know all of the things about all of the things, right?
yeah, yeah. I definitely know the reality on the there's a spectrum within any caregiving, right? And so you have those folks that are going to focus on the negative. You have those folks that are going to focus on the positive only. Unfortunately for me, I see all of it, the whole entire spectrum, and I'm trying, I have my own opinions because it's more to help me
Because
prepare for,
yes.
like, well, I was like, well, based on what I know, then I have to be prepared for, scenario A, B, C, um, and I'm fairly good at times about my own personal mental health, but when your time gets eaten up with the caregiving, it's hard to make that time.
Definitely.
So I
And
went from
you're a
there.
parent, you're in a relationship, you are
Yes,
working
you
on
know,
work. I mean, there's a
yeah,
lot of balls in the air.
yeah. The compartmentalization of it all is very important, although very dangerous. You have to be mindful of how you're doing it. And I let myself cry, and
Good.
I've been watching a lot of rom-coms. I cry during rom-coms, so it's getting
Oh,
out
good. You'll have to tell me
one
some
kind of way.
things to add to my queue.
I I can't watch anything right now about anyone's, sort of I've been calling it getting beamed up, like when their spiritual path out,
Okay, okay, fair.
That's all like, ooh, that's I can't do that, but anyway,
Good. Know your
yeah.
boundaries. I'm proud of you,
I
D-Dub.
I have the blessing where people keep reminding me that I need to pay attention to that because, I Ashley's experience when I'm all in, I can push
Dan,
things
when you're
aside. So,
loved by Daniel, it's a great thing.
yes, yes.
Um,
Uh,
Speaking of things
embarrassing
that
me,
we
but
both loved in the last week,
oh
give
my
me,
gosh.
give
Yeah,
me,
we're gonna
give
do
me
something lighthearted this time, and we're gonna talk about,
pop culture.
yes, pop culture. We're gonna talk about the Sunday version of Saturday Night Live.
Yes, you It's like an office wife and office husband conversation that we're letting people in
Oh,
on.
totally. Totally. So, we spent like, I don't know, 3 minutes preparing for this, so it's gonna not be that well thought out, but bear with us. Hopefully, it makes a lot of sense. But what'd you think of the whole thing?
Um, key performances that I loved. Um, Miley doing Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. I thought that was absolutely incredible. Um, I really loved Pete Davidson's tribute. I think Bill Murray's comedic timing is still just part of his DNA. Um, it was a great show. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're like 2 days out right now, so there's like a lot of like, things bubbling up on the
Opinions, yeah.
opinions bubbling up on the interwebs. But even the Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, I was reading today, they've only hosted once, and why were they featured? All of these things. Well, because it's timely and you may like it or you may not like it, but good on Lorne Michaels for good on Lorne Michaels. And I also
Well,
loved in that they took a step back too. Did you see the part where they were like all the times that we totally fucked up and we were racist and all
yes.
you're on like the
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah. Like I just they did a very good job of owning up to their position in the dialogue of America,
yes. So
you
well said.
know, and how Lorne has been pushing that. And
Wait,
I
did you love the
loved,
bit about Lauren too? Like all of the
yeah,
celebrity kids that were
they
there?
roasted the hell out of him, right? They roast and he, like, and some of it was vicious,
Yep.
like, and like he's not I love how by saying you can do it, right? It opens it up like, hey, I'm not like I'm not A, not perfect, and B, I'm a hard ass, and you can talk all the smack you want about. I love that bit. I love Ryan Reynolds saying the same, like talk, like having one of them just say, huh? Like make a joke out of it, like they
Right.
know. Um, I really like unfortunately I watched part of it with lower sound, so I missed the music part of the Miley Cyrus bit, but like even to me it was seemed a little a cappella with the
It
music.
was
It was great. And
no,
I'm
I like
forgetting the name of
loved
the
that.
other, it's Brittany. Brittany, the other singer, was just like off the
It
chart.
it was so good. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. And I just caught up on the Kardashians. Have you watched
Oh, I have not, no. I've been
um
behind on
that franchise?
that franchise. I'm actually, I think, a season behind. Um, but yeah, so SNL, the performances, yeah, going back to the racist stuff, like the whole Tom Hanks bit, I was like, is he actually doing that?
I couldn't agree more. I was like,
I
wow.
was like, hmm. Um, and it's like even
Yeah.
saying like I'm an actor, right? I
Yep.
can do the polar opposite, right? There's no, um
Oh my God. And
uh,
like the Kanye stuff where people were like,
and the Diddy stuff, P
oh
Diddy.
yeah, they were like, a couple different satellite viewing parties. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. So for all of um the people that, cared for our coffee talk today,
Yes.
you should watch it.
We, so, anything you were surprised by? Like, oof, that's not gonna land well.
I'm just so oh, I've been a fan of that show my whole life. Um I like like I said before, I liked the self-deprecating bits of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought in general it was really well done. I
yeah.
loved like looking around the audience. I was like, oh my God, there's Kevin Costner. There's this, there's Cher.
Poor Kevin Costner got squashed.
He was like,
He's like, whoa, what's happening? Um, yeah, I think they made a big statement about anything DEI. right? I
Yep.
think I think what they said was, no, it's here to stay no matter what. You can't just delete it, right?
Yep.
Because all the African American stuff, Asian, Hispanic, but it was the
Yep.
bisexual stuff as well with Pedro and Bad Bunny and all that kind. I was like, okay,
Yep.
good.
No,
Um,
absolutely. And I do think that that's another reason why it sounds like I know him. It sounds like we're close personal friends, but I think that that's why Lorne Michaels is such a legend because he's able to, um, I think, take a stand on the side that, you know, I think what New Yorkers recognize, which is at the heart of everybody is a
yeah.
great human. Just let them live their lives, right?
Yeah, it's very Frank Sinatra. I did it
Yeah.
my way, like because a lot of that stuff would not have been approved by a single damn sponsor. Like, forget it, right?
Yep.
So, that was, uh, that's pretty wild. What'd you think of the fashion? I mean, it's all slapsticky,
Nobody's really coming to mind. I'm trying to I did, I need to go back and sort of look at the red carpet looks. What about
I
you?
th well, I know, I think I think it was like mm, standard black tie for
Yeah.
the most part.
I think like what
Um,
an honor to be there, right?
Yeah, yeah. They looked like they
Like,
were
oh my
like
God, I'm a huge
they
celebrity.
were
No,
like at
wait,
a
that's
basketball game. I think the like a bleacher seating almost.
yeah.
That was fun. But
Oh,
I think
wait, how about Jack coming
with
out?
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
That was incredible. When was the last time
Or
that guy made an appearance
well,
anywhere?
now Paul Simon, who retired in 2018, is gonna go back on tour.
Doesn't it make my heart so happy?
Hey, I'm telling you, right, I'm not that I could be in front of all the people that they sing in front of, but if I had that sort of thought, but like even in a speaking engagement, if a Paul Simon was on stage with me, forget it, I would have fainted. Like Sabrina
Right.
Carpenter, like she must have a spine of steel because that completely like it's too much.
I know, exactly.
Like but she handled herself like really, I think, like
Yeah.
really well.
My 14-year-old daughter is not a fan of hers. I know, shocking, right? Because I'm like bopping along to her songs. I'm like, oh, I yeah,
Well,
Mimi.
this
We,
14-year-old
we
girl
need
is
to
a
have
big fan of
Mimi
her.
on your pod.
What? Oh yeah, Mimi. Does Mimi
She has
even
a
remember me? I
lot of
haven't seen her
opinions.
in years.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I joke in my coaching practice, you know, hormones are real about teenage girls.
yeah.
And a friend of mine actually came back at me a few weeks ago and said, yeah, and so are yours, 40-something-year-old woman. And I said, touche, that's totally fair. Haha. And another friend was with us who
Yeah.
raised two boys. They both got married last summer, in their 20s. She said, okay, with girls, hormones are real. Boys, you can't grow balls and brains at the same time. I mean, that's like
Nor
spot
would we
on
want
for
to.
teenage
But
parenting 101.
I know. Well, I am the office husband, and I've spent a lot of time with Ashleigh Walls, and I can tell you that the genetic predisposition is coming to play and
Uh,
will it's what is it?
Mimi's a good girl, but I don't know,
Just
she might,
you raised her to have her own opinion and her own
she
mind too.
definitely does. And
So
I love that. I think something that I've been able to be blessed with sort of picking different school programs and extracurriculars for her in the littler years. Now she's doing her own, she's really into volleyball or whatever. Um, I I don't know. I think I was able to sort of, orchestrate the things that I valued, which was being around good coaches, learning how to physically, good coaching and good teamwork and respect for other kids. And she, her friends' moms tell me she's the little like mom of the group. So if that means that she cares about others, she respects individuals for the beautiful things they bring to the table, and she might be a little bossy, then we'll have her on. She has some opinions.
Question number one, Mimi. Why don't you like Sabrina Carpenter?
Exactly.
She's gonna be like, ah.
Uh-huh. Oh, we'll have to talk about this at another time. The different camps kids are doing. She just signed up to do teenage surf camp in North Carolina this summer. I know,
Wow.
whatever. So I think, to be a teenager today, it's a whole new world.
I mean, when I was growing up, even though I was a military child, um, we all felt like our world was like this small, right?
Yeah.
Kids, I think, that, like at
Like
14, I would have been like, "Oh, I'm
she
going
and
to go
her
to
friends
surf
pick
camp in North
yeah, like
Carolina."
where did you come up with exactly? That's your
I thought
question number two for her.
I lived in Las Vegas and doing Disneyland weekend or whatever was just like like I can't go that far.
I know.
And I
Um,
had
Tell
anyway.
me what shows you're excited to see coming up in Vegas.
Oh, what shows in Vegas
Like anyone at the Sphere, which we also wanted to talk about at some point, all of the incredibly cool technology that is for
this
public
year?
consumption in the event space today.
Yes. I would say well, I did see you two at Sphere. And the Eagles are there now, and that was that was one of my most surprising concerts was one of the Eagles like a decade ago they were here at the MGM Grand. We've done events there. It's fun. Um but seeing them in that venue would be kind of wild. Um we just saw Janet Jackson, so that was a very good show.
Did she do the whole Rhythm Nation? Like, oh my God, that choreography and like I'm a drum girl. Like I love,
Yeah,
and when that whole choreography is just absolutely
yeah.
incredible.
My job was to wash dishes when 1814 was out, and I had my little Walkman, and I was
Yep.
doing that dance right in the kitchen. Um, so yeah, like no, I'm super spoiled, so it's hard to I literally it's like you know
Yeah. Who do I want
fishing.
to?
You're like, well, who do we want to see? And I've seen a lot here, as you know. So
I if there are any good comedians that I should have on my radar that you want to go see, let me know and I can make a Vegas trip.
yeah,
Not just,
typically when we're here, like the really good high-end comedians that tend to have the shows that are coming out on Netflix, etc. They're at the Win. So just take a look at the reader board. But
love it.
yeah,
Nate Bargatze's coming to Seattle in November. And I'm excited to see him. I think he's
um,
hilarious.
I think he's here actually at some point summer. Um, I'll fact check
Probably.
myself.
Well, anybody that's, I
I'll
mean, of
text
course
you
you're
with the
going to do
dates.
Vegas, right? Seattle's like yeah, a maybe,
Seattle's
right?
good.
Yeah, but I feel like if they have like a huge crowd, sometimes they go down to Tacoma, and I'm not going to go down there for like a 7 p.m. show. And then
Well, that's a day
a
trip
lot
for
of
you. You'd have to
casinos
stay overnight.
in Tacoma, I don't know. No offense to Tacoma. It's just like it's because it's not that far, right? It's just like a pain in the ass. And don't get me started on Washington State roads. Or do get me started. I
Don't.
speak about this a lot. Like I'm actually surprised no one's like dubbed me to be like on a city council
Well,
about it
yeah,
because I
like
get
okay.
passionate
So
about this.
let's get wild, like minorly political for a second, right? So we have Doge like breaking up the world right now. Um, but like here in Vegas, once they finish one construction project, they move on to the next. I mean, there's never, it's like, they're moving out and some of this is definitely funded by the federal government, right? So
Yes.
so is all of that going to stop? Is that like public works under oversight? Because some projects, I'm like, how did that even get greenlit? Right? They just did that freeway 2 years ago, and now they're redoing it, which is a
Oh
total
my gosh, the
Vegas problem.
Washington, the bridges in Seattle over Lake Washington, perfect example. Yes.
Oh, they do the same thing there? Because I know that.
They've been the Mercer mess has been under construction since well before I moved to Switzerland. Like, yes, like 2000, I mean,
Oh,
early
wow.
2000s. Oh,
Okay.
and then they kept having to expand it because the projections kept coming up short for what the real traffic patterns were. Um, yeah. I saw one of our dear friends from Expedia days and my Switzerland days a couple days ago, and he said that Dara was at the inauguration, and
Oh,
we were talking about. I think I don't. I didn't ask Umang exactly on the seating chart.
oh,
Who. Right, right. No, my point is like be like leaning into a little political. When leaders publicly say they stand for certain values, or even going back to your DEI initiatives. Um, and then this friend and I were talking about, how for the sake of employing a couple 100,000 people, sometimes you got to kiss the ring. A lot of
I've
responsibility. Well, are we going to
sometimes,
wrap it up because we don't want people to be bored? I mean, I'm not either. How many segments can you get out of this? Hi. Oh my God. Like we talked about, a lot of balls in the wait,
you
how
know,
was the cruise? Same port, start and stop. Okay.
mhm.
And then Galveston, Texas to where?
It's a month
Great, great weather.
because
Was
for
it
for
Daniels or was it Oliver in there too? Was it okay, I love this.
so
If you do it
and
right,
is
I guess.
I'm back.
Then
So
you have a
got a
lot
little
going
re
on.
we have a lot of
Daniel has a lot going on.
yeah.
Okay, I love that. I was. I got this. Have you ever gotten the Instagram ads for the big ass calendar? And it's literally a huge calendar that they send you. And I
Okay.
love it. And one of the they have very few principles, literally do whatever you want with it, but visually look at what you're either accomplishing or like I put a sticker for days that I don't work out. So I like don't like to see the little purple stickers, you
Oh,
know? But
yes.
one of the guiding principles for this big ass calendar is I want to say like Dan's theory or someone like that. Sorry if I'm butchering it, but it's take 6 mini adventures a year. And if even if you do nothing else, like
And those.
however you
Yes.
define 6 mini adventures. So I have like a green triangle, like 6 of them already put on the big ass calendar for the whole year. So like Nashville was one, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
that was already accomplished early February. I'll do something different and fun, exciting that I haven't done before. This trip to Florida. So Um, I mean, probably not. I need a little more excitement in it, you know. But I'll figure it out.
Oh,
But it's like visually, right? It's there on the whole year, and I'm like, oh, okay. You can stack it kind of however you want, but I know that. Well, well, I actually have it up in the powder room in my bathroom, so it's like it's very large, it's very big, on brand. So it's a big. I mean, I don't want to look up and see purple dots while I'm
like, how
starting the
can I
day.
get
Then I'm going to
so days?
call me
And
anytime. I want to hopefully
yes,
make you smile when you make so many other people
he,
smile, and know that you're an angel in a lot of people's lives. Me too.
good to
One of
see
the
you.
many reasons you're my office husband for life. You're already tan, sun kissed.